The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is now just about 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked onto the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where we are culture crazy. First and foremost, let's kick this off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always give thanks. Secondly, we must say thank you to those that went before us. And we are not just talking about our ancestors, the original inhabitants of Trinidad and Tobago, because you all know, accept, reiterate, and say it would be chess, a Columbus line, but also our brother in music, Tony Prescott, with a P. This week stands for...
I'll go with petrol, man.
Petrol.
I'll go with petrol.
Did you miss the gas tank? The gas truck, sorry?
No, you hear the gas truck box?
Why would I hear the gas truck pass by you when we here?
Well, I was listening. I don't know. I went with petrol because I am fresh of or maybe PTE would be a better phrase. But
or PSA.
PSA also, because I just got in from mediating at a career day.
Mediating or presenting?
I didn't really present actually. I'm more MC the event than anything else.
Oh,
yeah. It's for Marabella North Secondary School. They had a career day for the Form 3s, which I think was excellent.
Right.
Because they got these students at a point where they would go into choosing their subjects.
Okay.
And one of the keynotes of it, well, the reason I said petrol was because Paria was there. And
they are in the business of buying and selling petrol.
Yeah,
to Trinidad and Tobago.
They are a trading company.
Paria Trading.
Yeah.
Paria Fuel Trading Company. Limited.
Yeah.
Limited.
And they also sponsor a program with Wisdom CRM that introduces youth to trading in the stock market. Yeah, in schools. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Right? I know, eyes wide open. It was fantastic stuff. So check out Paria and Wisdom CRM. I'm very interested. What interview you cut off? Well, clearly, I'm way past it. All right.
We could tell.
As so did the youth. So could the youth. Apparently, they were quite bemused and amused, which is two separate things. To hear my age when it was referred to as me no longer being able to register with the TTPS and the like, because I would have long surpassed.
And TTPS is up to 35?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you know that ain't happening.
Neither, don't worry.
Unless they want somebody on social media. But it was nice. TTPS was there. TTPS Homicide Bureau of Investigation was there.
And I have a virgin working there now.
Our neighbors, it was nice to meet.
What do you mean was? I have a virgin working in 140 Street.
Oh, no. Like our literal neighbors on the coffee. And hey, I got like police. I don't know if they just picked two tall police to send. Actually, all the police also said they were tall.
Oh, is it that you are short?
Let me not short. Anyway, short. But it was in the like
short.
TTPS, Homicide, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries was there. And the reason that was so important is because MNSS offers Agri-Sci. So it wasn't
MNSS being
Marabella North Secondary School.
They also put that back there because for those that would not have put the acronym together as
MNSS could have been any
nationals.
It was lovely to see a ministry directly related to a subject that the school was offering.
I love to hear things like that.
And even in terms of some of the questions, we did a bit of a mini game show to wrap it up. And some of the questions that were asked, I loved this iteration of the program. It was amazing. It was educational. The kids were engaged.
Could I interject?
You could, you know, interject during live is
Whoa.
Let me actively listen.
They don't do that.
This is me actively listening.
Did they have any of what would some schools will call the alternate careers?
Unfortunately, I was as alternate career as it was.
Okay, I understand.
Right. It is something that I will talk to Ms. Cosine about. Maybe with the older students, maybe the older ones. After they pick the subjects and already going on the pipeline, just something that could give them a little more open-minded approach to school even.
Because I will always say, if when I was attending that Verdant School on the hill in San Fernando, they offered alternative careers to us and showed us how valuable careers, music or media or acting and barbering, my word, those things could have been, when we were at that school, it would have shown persons that academia is not the be-all and end-all. Learning a trade, learning a skill, exercising and employing the talent that you may have that you're hiding from your parents could earn you a living as well.
Yeah, you are testimony to pursuit of passion, balanced with strategic structural education. Mr. Williams was done what? For the meme of February, as far as I'm concerned, you did a pretty good job. But I also recognize the world changed around us, because when we were doing arts in school, the digital age was
not a thing.
It was still very fresh. But now I'm pretty certain arts in schools would incorporate a lot of, content creation and
I'm far removed. I can't answer that.
I would think it's more than just stippling and cross-action.
And you actually remember the terms. Wow.
I mean, I loved art.
Well done.
I loved art. I loved languages. And I was a science student. I do wonder how different my path would have been had I pursued art or more modern studies approach. If I'd pursued linguistics, how I'm not regretting or complaining about the path that I'm on. I have brilliant mentors and lovely opportunities. It was so rewarding spending this time with those youth. And the interest and the passion, and there was so much collaboration, Aaron, that when we were doing questions at the end of the program, we were coming in to help each other. It was not competitive where I want to win the prize. It was let me help. I mean, I like big up Paria on our lunch kit. I just sit there and get on. I get it. I get a nice lunch kit. Anyway. I'm sorry, not a lunch kit, no? But let's call it a cooler bag. So I can keep my water cool and my food hot. It's really a lunch kit. If a lunch kit. I haven't had a lunch kit in 25 years. Anyway.
So just about the man, I will be able to apply for police.
Where is stuff?
I can't even laugh that much.
Oh yeah, you in our zone too?
Yeah.
I thought I was getting sick, and it turns out I was not getting sick. It was just Sahara dust.
Well, I got sick because the missus got sick.
Oh, okay.
And then caring for the missus, then I contracted it.
Yeah, I guess what I have is respiratory, but it's more along lines.
But what is not helping is the Sahara.
Sahara dust is
it's terrible.
It is terrible. Dusty.
If you don't know, this is the living room on the True Nation station, WACK 90.1 FM, where all calypsos are played. We play all calypsos. That is so funny, yeah? You know what's the funniest thing about all that? Like, my mother...
Oh, it again?
No, my mother, who rarely goes on Facebook, sent me a couple posts that persons would have posted with it. And I was trying my best to not talk to anybody about it because it would have been an uncomfortable conversation for me.
I know you were a tad uncomfortable with the entire shit.
Yeah. And it's not because I run from being at the front of things or anything like that, but I know our landscape currently.
Right.
And I did not want to be made a meme. I did not want to become a political tool.
Yeah.
I did not want to become as Ricardo just said, the meme of the month.
Although it was, as far as memes of the month have been for the past year or two, that would have been a brilliant one here.
Yeah, that would have been very number one. Right? I didn't want that because I try my best within this sphere of my life to remain as apolitical as possible.
What if the penal poet does watch us, boy?
I don't know.
You're new to make a good February, you know.
We'll see. Somebody probably sent it them.
So we are live on WAC 90.1 FM.
And just for those that did not know, the Sir was Kenny Phillips.
It was the owner of the radio station.
Yeah.
And again, not to delve too much into the thing, but at the end of the day, people who don't know the station or don't know the actors would not have understood that that is a typical exchange, as typical as Aaron and Kenny. For anybody who does not know,
yeah, boy.
Every time I've spoken about Aaron Godfather, that's what we're talking about. This man would interrupt his own broadcast, right, to tell you who we are.
Yeah.
This is WAC.
Yeah, Kenny is an enigma.
Hey.
As Marshall said in an interview he did with Corey Shepard, Kenny is probably one of the strangest individuals he has ever met. And you know, Marshall Montano has met a lot of people.
And many of them have been strange.
Right? But as I have said before, and I will continue to say, just how persons say that Marshall doesn't give youth a chance, and that's a lie.
That is, alright, I'm listening, actively listening.
Kenny encourages, he enables, he fosters, he gives opportunities to, and also interjects opportunities that he's give people, just to remind them that, hey, I still here though.
Hey, he old or he ain't cool.
Yeah, but you cannot take away the contribution that Kenny Phillips has made to the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not saying Calypso alone, to the culture, to the landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Because without Kenny Phillips, we wouldn't have had WAC.
All you understand is 250 concerts, virtual shows that WAC did during COVID.
You know, when I look back on it, fittingly enough, on Saturday, my Facebook memories reminded me that we would have hosted the virtual stream for Pan in the Sand Coach, right? Which would have been in 2022, which makes it 5 years. I didn't even know that. 5 years that we have been hosting. Well, for me, I can't say for but 5 years that I've been hosting the virtual shows for Carnival. I did not even know that this year.
Was saying, right? When a man says with the authority that he does that WAC is where calypsos are played, where all calypsos are played. You see, I gonna say it because I don't know if anybody else says it, but I'm going to say that when a man drops a song, that in a live rendition of the song, he then goes on to call your name in it, and your response is to continue playing the man's song, then you are truly representing calypso being played. Kaiso make the play.
Because if we don't want to accept it, Calypso is about commentary. Regardless of what type of commentary it is. There's so many types. We can go and delve into it. But Calypso is about commentary. And if Cardo is the commentary, if Cardo is the comment that is being sung about, we taking it. If I am being sung about, we taking it.
If I drop a song about Kenny and Aaron and the song good, you go play. And if it ain't that good, then play. I go play it.
I mean, I pay for anybody else to play it. No, but it will be on the playlist. Somebody told me what they loved the most about WAC during this Carnival season, well, the past Carnival season, was the overnight playlist.
Yeah.
Because we got, during the day, you'll get the calypsos with a bias to an extent.
Right.
Because you'll have the influence of the presenters, you'll have the influence of the listeners, all these different, the influence of the segments. You'd have a lot of things that would influence the day.
Yeah.
But in the night, anything was playing.
Yeah.
And at night, I driving home after events. Usually I drive home in silence, but I would put on the radio just to hear some of the songs on the overnight. And some of those songs I featured in the Calypso mix for this year.
Yeah. And in fact, coming home from some of the gigs, listening to WAC, I was like, oh wait, yeah, I played that. Oh, hey, yeah, this song. Oh, I saw this in a tent. I met that person. Like, honestly, the education that I've gotten about Carnival and Trinidad and Tobago in the last year, Aaron, has been wildly astonishing.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that was one of the things that I wanted to come here and ask you about in today's iteration of the living room.
Yeah.
As somebody who would have had a life change,
Yeah.
how was the experience for you being out in Carnival again this year?
I will admit there were difficulties. I've gotten used to being a bit of a homebody. So being out and being around people all the time, it took a bit of adjusting. However, being in the technical crew, being in the camera crew, I was also apart from.
Apart of, but apart from.
Yes. So I got to witness some amazing things. I get to up close and personal, and in some cases, literally front and center experience. I was in the media pit for the Marsh Car, front and center, right? Literally in the middle of the melee. I was there for King and Queen of the bands. When the rain started to fall,
That's on Friday.
after that Rainmaker Moko Jumbi came down. No, since the
Prelims.
since the prelims,
Right.
right? Even when they came down to semi-finals and the men didn't get to parade, only 5 of the costumes got to parade before the rain came down and they had to abridge the show. I was on a platform, the Bella platform next to the media tent for me in the middle of a Marshall concert. Aaron, I had not been to Port of Spain for Carnival in 15 years. Because the last 5 years I had anything to do with Carnival, I was in Salford Calichurns.
That's not very great. So you were in the melee for the Marshall?
I was on a platform, center cam. I was center cam, wide and main, wide and close up.
Thank you very much for that footage, I must admit. I looked at that Marshall concert from the comfort of my home.
Hey,
I did not want... Now, I knew we were scheduled to do the coverage, but I did not want a single part of that Carnival Friday. Purely based on the fact that I was going to the event on the other side of the savannah.
right.
I was going on Hartford.
Yeah.
Which I'll tell you all about a little bit later.
10,000 people in Flavor Village. You could see what you want.
It was more than that back then.
I got in, Mother Deco.
I feel it was about 12.
Hey, I try not to function on my feelings if I can. But from being in Port of Spain for Carnival after 15 years and being in a Marshall concert of all things, from being in the Marsh Car, imagine my first the Marsh Car is literally on a camera in one of the best seats in the house.
Mine too. Well, that is not a camera, but right?
What else? Stick fighting, being in stick fighting all over the country for the good and the bads of it.
So what's the bad word? I'm not going now.
Oh, you're not going?
I want the people to understand
By
the ordeals we sometimes go through.
then a boy fly clean out of the ring and hit me on my shin in the finals of one of the prelims enter the Gael in Moruga. Aaron, not for the night a boy come out the ring. And in the finals, one flies straight out of the ring and connect on my shin.
At least it was just shit.
But the Lord told me, you find it close to the ring, and I step back, and as after I step back, so I might get in chest or face if I was closer. But I'm telling you up to now, me ain't see it yet,
You can see the boy, yeah?
All I know is that a man hand swing, then I feel something, and I see the ball on the ground. Up to now, me ain't see the ball come out the ring yet, So I can get a spirit lash for all I know. What I will say is that for the finals, when boy fly out the ring 5 or 6 times, I saw each and every one of them.
Because you was hyper vigilant. No.
Because I have been, my eyes had been attuned to the power of the boy. So it is stick fighting finals and being in different calypso tents. Carnival is a complicated thing in Trinidad and Tobago, but I will admit that what I saw in my people, I've been telling you all about the rekindling And in some cases, the initial kindling of a love for the country that I did not know I had before. When I told you about even my discovery, my appreciation for what Kaiso is as a documentary, an auditory documentary of our history. Seeing what the economy Aaron, the micro and macro economies of Carnival Aaron, of the when people call mass bands, I might call 5 and 10 if they know plenty. But Aaron, just the mid-size minis, singles, just being able to watch the traditional parade of the bands, the junior parade of the bands, and then mass on the Tuesday.
You went Tuesday?
Yeah, it was a bit Tuesday. On the wide on the main.
I didn't make it to the state
Because
I left home
it was
after.
Peloton crew by then.
I left home about half 10.
Seeing thousands of people in our juve I had never heard of before. I did.
Yeah, boy. I never knew Barco had a juve.
And Barco was thousands.
You know, we could edit the Ronnie McIntosh, the end where he's talking about the different places that have Carnival.
I know. This had to go up.
Not just talking about the song itself, the words of the song. He talks about Toronto, have a Carnival.
So yeah.
See that? You can get it. Yeah, no, I was the same place in, but just saying, in terms of just talking about that way, he talks about the different places of the world that has a Carnival. The kind of places I see that have Juve, Cedros, Barpo, Maruba. I know Shagona saw Juve. Shagona. I saw Shagona say that a band at the airport Juve, and I was like, Shagona saw more than one band? I didn't even know that. Sandy Grande. I saw Roxburn Tobago. You see Sando yet? Me talking Sando because everybody knows Sando had a hot day.
Sando have I see thousands of people in San Fernando when we reach Maccabee Road. And then I hear people saying that it was smaller than usual.
I heard so.
And I like, if that is smaller than usual, it was fantastic. Now, again, I would love to see our enthusiasm, for God, on par with our enthusiasm for revelry. But what I will say is that the economies alone of the people who invest the money, the time, the youths, even the youths in, still walking or / Moko Jumbies, right? The youth in terms of Pan, the practices that people go through,
The Blue Devils empowerment.
The
empowerment had a Juve too.
It's a lot. There's a lot of people that care about expression and rebellion and creativity and identity. It can be such a powerful thing here on is our culture, Trinidad and Tobago's culture, in my opinion, is second to none. Right? To quote Kess, we sit on something that is worth more than oil and gold. And he speaks of our culture. And I wait for the day when the culture is not just encapsulated or controlled to Carnival. I wait for the day when Tobago's Heritage Festival, the Blue Food Festivals, Point Fortin Borrow Day, if there's a big gospel concert somewhere, or gospel lipso concert, we're going to show me that. No, I'm not going to pull up articles say as I say Tobago. I'm like, you know what Tobago might appreciate more than
A proper
Carnival? A Carnival.
a proper work,
That is. Anyway.
So this morning, yesterday morning, when I was heading to Portersfield.
Anyway, I think for being a Twin Island Republic for as long as we've been, we should by now have figured out how to do
Inter-island
transport. If we'd started building a bridge here,
we might have finished by next 5 years.
well, as a man say, if it takes so long to build the creek, and that was on land, we're asking for a bridge. But come on.
But really and truly, as small as St. Vincent is, they have inter-island transport good, eh?
Yes.
That ferry between Beckway and St. Vincent itself, as rough as the ride is a good thing, yeah.
It is good to hear that me having been to Beckway in 2009 and you be making that trip 15, 16 years later and it's still, come on, man, it's not rocket science. Literally, it's not rocket science. We're not trying to go to the moon.
It's boat science.
It's boat science. Maritime science.
No, just boat.
It's seafaring. Oh, yeah. You know, and what I try to highlight is that maritime science predates most science. I'm just saying, right? Being able to sail from one place to another has been a motivating factor in the development of human history. This is not supposed to be this hard. For crying out loud, there are entire civilizations that were built on people being able to canoe from one island to another. And you telling me that in 2026, businesses have to close down because they have unreliable. Isn't that the Strait of Gibraltar? This is not like it will be here at sea, the Houthis on them.
The Strait of Gibraltar is not smaller than the distance between here and there, you know?
That's saying, right?
Google that.
The water's notoriously storm-ridden.
I mean, I had to Google and check
What
that
I'm
out.
saying, right, is not like, it don't have it's not a controlled access point that it's not under attack from pirates.
So so the distance of the Strait of Gibraltar at its narrowest point is 14.4 kilometers, right? Right, so let me check the distance from Trinidad to Tobago.
They're not 22?
What?
From Trinidad?
0.4
No, Trinidad to Tobago is not 22 kilometers. That's in the furthest front.
Yeah. 30 to 35 kilometers.
30 to 35 kilometers,
Yeah.
like 22 miles.
19 to 20 miles.
19, 20 miles.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying, Ogom. Anyway, sorry, I'm not be that guy.
Don't
On a positive
Ogom the
note.
place.
On a positive note, Tobago deserves a little more love than it gets. Some might say that they get any love that they deserve. Yeah, we ever hear the line that we just end up with the government that we deserve?
They got Shagalos.
So I still know that big people business.
Please do.
Speaking of big people business, I wanna
Please do.
put a real stupid big stone here. Right? As we speak, Mexico, the unaliving of a Mexican cartel boss resulted in quite a violent uprising and response in Guadalajara. And I've been in touch with one of our trainees,
Daniel Deshaun Thompson.
yeah, who has been in Mexico training for Taekwondo.
He's safe. Firstly.
I asked him and he said that he was safe at the moment. He was in his room. He was in his hotel room and outside was crazy at the moment, quote unquote. Yeah, bro, locked up in my apartment, outside crazy at the moment.
Right.
Right. It's also frustrating to think that a man sitting at the head of a government could order the bombing of pirogues in the Caribbean, and I've yet to hear a single peep concerning drug-motivated activity on the board. Anyway, maybe there's not the time or place for that.
Please, no.
Anyway, Scott. Anyway, what were we talking about? Let me not go down that road. Let me not be that guy. Positive note. You have a positive note? You have any positive notes or point of interest? Because I have a really nice positive note.
I have actually a few positive notes.
All right, well then you do one and then I will do one.
First and foremost,
Go another one.
I would like to say a pleasant good afternoon to everybody who's locked onto the True Nation station. You all are the reason that we continue to do this.
Fairly low hanging fruit as far as positive notes go.
Wait now.
This is me actively listening.
Secondly, I would like to turn to you now, my towel brethren, my throw in the towel brethren, to let you know that the West Indies cricket team is currently 4 matches unbeaten in the T20 World Cup.
4 matches beaten in the T20
Unbeaten with its most recent victory being 107 run thumping of Zimbabwe, who made it to the Super 8s by beating Australia, who is Australia not in the Super 8s. I just turned that in there too.
I'm not looking at anything on my phone. No, this is me trying to bury more.
Your shame. No, shut down your phone. Take your shame. Your towel fan.
So what you're telling me is that this tournament that is ongoing, that I paid zero attention to,
Correct.
we are performing well?
Yes. So you know what? It's done. The tournament is over.
So is it is do search now. Don't look for the match now.
If you want to watch a match in with India playing somebody else, boy, they will know somebody. Don't watch the West. Don't watch the West Indies games, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a sudden, rapid, unexpected decline in our
It's because God to watch the game.
please note that it's because Aaron reminded me that the tournament is going on and encouraged me to support.
Whoa. If you rewind the video 10 seconds, you will never see me saying that Cardo support.
I get you. And congratulations to the West Indies cricket team for
just go and put up on myself. Why?
for continuing its cycle of anticipation, expectation, hope, and belief. Because let's put it this way: for them to break your heart, you have to fall in love with them first. So
Correct, right.
God bless all the best. I would love to celebrate the outcome. I would love to celebrate it. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep up the good work.
The thing going, yes, I must say. Also, I know you would have interviewed some gentlemen from the Team TTO Handball Association. They are actually heading across to St. Kitts in April from the 23rd to the 26th for World Cup qualifiers for the national handball team.
National Handball Team World
Yeah.
Cup qualifiers, April 23rd to 26th.
In St. Kitts, yeah.
Remember birthday weekend, I should go.
I find so. I'm carrying me as a friend.
You know what? Actually, I think I had a minister in church that Sunday, so maybe you could just come to church instead.
I'll think about it. Seeing that church of us is the same time as two separate locations.
So you can come to church with me for my birthday? I went to church with you and it wasn't even your birthday, middle of last year.
You went to church for a very special occasion, for me, that you had to be present for.
Good.
Oh, yeah. But yes, Team TTO and the gentleman that we would have interviewed, Chad Phillip and Ronaldo Scott,
Yeah.
they are both on the team.
Hey, congratulations, guys.
Along with another partner of mine, Christoph Phillip,
Yeah,
who coincidentally is Chad's little brother.
yes, actually told.
Both of them here.
Yeah,
Well, I'm like,
fellas.
I can't reach that high.
Yeah, them fellas have some height.
Yeah, 6 something.
Yeah, them fellas have height. The little one is
a taller one.
yeah.
But yeah,
But I want to. Well, all right. So on Carnival Monday night, we're setting up for
Brass Bacchanal.
Brass Bacchanal, which was fantastic. It was fantastic. And while I was toting tubs and tripods, I was accosted in a very determined, however very amicable manner. Excuse, you're the guy you work with Aaron, right? And now Aaron being quite popular that weekend, I wasn't sure just how to respond yet now, because depending on one's perception, he was either a champion of the culture or a part of the maniacal system to oppress. However, never being ashamed of Aaron, I said, "'Tis I, the co-host of Aaron's." A little less dramatically, but they went on. It was a young woman and 2 young men. Well,
Young?
seasoned listeners of
Oh,
young in spirit.
oh,
Young in spirit.
as
Not
well.
necessarily in the flesh, but
As we are.
young of heart.
Younger art.
And they were very encouraging, and they thanked us for the programming that we've been providing. They loved the move into the living room, to the actual living room, at which point I shared with them that, well, yes, it is my actual living room, so that's to tell you how much more authentic the program has become.
Big up you pretty set.
All right, Aaron. So, to Steve, Jenny, and Quincy, the Jacobs, Thank you for your support and your encouragement, for your love. They appreciate what it is we're doing. They love the program, and to imagine you fly into our country and stop a man toting box to tell him, hey,
I like what you're doing.
I like what you're doing. And not just I like what you're doing, you see, but what all you're doing. Because Aaron, over the years, we've had the challenge of trying to produce positive content in a notoriously bacchanal environment. And to be recognized and encouraged by the listeners for the type of conversation we are determined to carry, when there are things that might be more viral, there are things that might be more clickbait, there are things that might be more soundbite friendly, but to be encouraged to maintain dignity and quality and class of conversation that we strive to. They were enthusiastic about the guests that we bring on and how timely they are. So one of the things I definitely want to figure out is how
we get guests back.
How we're gonna do guests again.
You have to get out.
And we also could probably really start to reintegrate the studio for some of the guests as well.
Had to try. Now,
but bit up to the Jacobs.
Now you got that pleasant interaction. Now, on the other side of it, this year was the first year in I think 8 years I was out of San Fernando for Carnival.
Right.
I made my way to Port of Spain. The Pan Man, he had his own truck in Yuma.
Yes.
On Carnival Monday.
World record.
The world record Pan Man, right? So Pan was on the road and I'm his DJ, so I was there. We didn't get to perform on Tuesday, however. On Tuesday, I had the most weird interaction. So, Cardo got the pleasant one, I got the weird one. Now, I don't know this man from Adam. I am standing at the side of the road in St. James, cup in my hand having a beverage, and this man walks up to me. Beep, beep, beep.
Right.
All they cut the man mic. All they beep. And I am there like, how do I respond to this man who clearly had a couple more beverages than me?
A few more beverages, yeah.
And how do I respond to this man in such a way that he doesn't think that, one, I was complicit in any action, or two, that I'm a douche?
Yeah.
Because part of the reason why I tried not to respond to anybody or any of the messages was because, one, the climate, and then people's perception of your response.
Yeah, even a legitimate, properly crafted response still subject to, you're taking an arrogant or condescending position, or you're being apologetic for something that you're not even responsible for. It's very difficult to win that.
So I told the gentleman, I was like, excuse me, what did you say?
Which is an excellent response when accosted. You give the person an opportunity to examine their position and decide if to hold it or not.
To quote Paul Skeens Douglas, who tell me say that?
Right. So it doesn't always work, as it were.
If you all have ever seen a Junior Lee meme or video, you hear the like dolphins when he hear you say, just think of about 10 seconds of dolphins.
Right.
And it's like, but you cut the man mic. I say, now, mind you, there's a lot of trucks in the background, music playing loud, people passing in between, all kind of different things. I say, sir, I did not cut anybody's mic. Whatever you think happened, that is your perception. I am telling you, I did no such thing. This man gets in and tell me, I just wanted to see how you respond or not, because I find it handle it real good. Why we just couldn't skip to the last picture? that one wanted to litmus test here.
But I watched that.
And he was not the only person. As the day continued to wear on, other people would have seen me and either accosted me or congratulated me. And what that continues to show me is people are judging what happened that day based on that 10-second clip they see. Nobody is, well, actually, up to Friday, we didn't have the opportunity to, I don't even think we still have the opportunity to go back and watch over the whole show. I need to ask Kenny if that's up as yet.
Yeah.
But guys, you'll have to remember, This show, The Living Room, is an hour long. So you may tune in for 1 minute in the hour, and it may not be something that you like. But there's the opportunity for you to go back and watch it and see what the entire program is about.
Yeah, we haven't been cancelled, as in we haven't been kicked off the hour yet. So I'm pretty certain the conversations on them at least reasonable.
Right? So don't judge something that you like or don't like based on a 10-second clip or a 4-second clip or a picture with captions that may not be applicable. The reason why I'm saying this is because you have to remember that when it comes to media, when it comes to broadcasting, any card could play at any time.
Yeah.
So just how the Jacobs love what we do, there are people who will be looking and be like, I go and turn off and come back on 7 o'clock when Desmond come back with the big band.
Yeah.
Come mean like what them this do. But have you ever taken the chance to, or given us the opportunity to present ourselves to you? Because that is what we do every week in the living room. And there are persons like the Jacobs, there are persons that we just see all over the place who might greet us and tell us we like what they're doing. But there are also persons who have never listened but have opined negatively.
Yeah. Yeah, I will never forget our good bridge in our mind. And this story was one of the things that he didn't know he was doing it, but he properly prepped me for media. He thought that you and I were two both well-grounded and intellectual to have a good show. He said that somebody needs to be the bacchanalist to add that element to the program. And I asked him, because I know that
You play the protagonist very well. Do the antagonist.
I do flirt with the line.
You protag or ant.
I protag or antag, but I be tagging, right? And
Wow.
a lot of our balance comes from me raging against the machine and you making sure that we don't get kicked off the air. And there are times when you rage and I had to be like, hey, let's apply some practical thought process to this. Now, the thing is, this was pretty early in the days, but he was offering advice as to who we should be and what we should do for the program. And I asked him, I said, have you ever listened to the program?
Bro.
No, he had not. And this man is a marketing professional. And I was like, you know what? Thank you. Because he taught me in that moment one of the most important things that I would have to absorb is that everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Some people even have advice, but imagine this man is giving me advice on something that he had never even assessed himself. And he was a professional. So you know what I did? It prepared me to be able to do what I had to do in this space without regard for how it might be perceived. Because imagine people have perceptions of something that they have not even had exposure to.
Correct, that's right.
So imagine, you might have never seen a pink dragon in your whole life and you want to tell me about the virtues, the merits and the demerits of a pink dragon.
You never see a pink dragon?
Yeah, how? You know?
You ever see a purple dinosaur?
I've seen purple dinosaurs.
Or a big yellow bird?
I did, right?
Or a big brown snuffleupagus?
I just saying, what is snuffleupagus? What is it? What is a snuffleupagus?
Yeah.
You know what snuffleupagus is?
Or
It sounds like a stuffy esophagus,
oh my God.
right? So I think stuffy and snuffy rhyme. What I'm saying is, I think Big Bird had asthma, right? And his way of processing
The Sahara dust.
asthma,
The Sahara dust.
the S in snuffy is for Sahara.
The essence Sesame Street is for Sahara.
All I'm saying is, I think Big Bird had sinuses and it was just his way of coming to terms with it. Now, what I'm saying is that people will always have something to say, and it's important from the beginning to have nothing to do with what people have to say about things that they don't know anything about.
Correct, that's right. And as one of the reasons why, as I said, I see sense is because persons have a lot to say about nothing sometimes. And I pose this question as my last point ever on this topic. How could somebody working WAC cut a mic for somebody working on our next station?
Batusai working for we. You know, never get never animate.
Anyway, and everything else cut. Now, but really and truly, guys, WAC has been here. WAC will always be here. WAC is here for the culture. As I boldly said that night on 3 occasions, WAC is where calypsos are played. All. And that is what we will continue to do on WAC.
You know, you get sure people who was in this thing in their church group and all kind of things.
Serious? Yeah, that my boss sent me a picture of it.
You see your wall, and that's just the tags that you allowed. I can just imagine the tags that you didn't allow.
Well, I see people who have not spoken to me in years calling me. I just watching the phone ring.
I find you should get a raise.
I was going to make a real outlandish statement here.
Careful, we live on Wacker.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
No, but no. Follow me with this one, Cardo. People who I have not spoken to in years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It drew, I don't know, but anyway, as I say, I'm not talking about it again. One thing I'll continue to say is what we need to understand is that WAC is here. WAC is where calypsos are played. WAC is where culture is. And we don't switch off.
Yeah.
WAC going to be playing calypso, soca and pan from now till thy kingdom come. If you are a praying person and you know what prayer that come from.
Yeah, I know from midnight.
As of midnight tonight.
Yeah.
You know how disgusted I was to turn on the radio on Monday morning and drive up the road and hear dancehall? No, radio wasn't on WAC admittedly at that point. Because I think my brother was in the car.
No, man. At the end of the day, too, it's not a cult we in, you know. We are allowed to listen to other stations if we so choose.
But it was disgusting to me. Carnival was less than a week ago. Why are we?
They didn't even have a last lap in pass yet.
No, last lap was Saturday.
Oh, you mean the Monday? Yes, the Monday.
Yes, last lap was Saturday in the stadium.
Right, good.
Where they played dancehall too.
Well, I mean, Carnival done.
Carnival Tuesday night, you know what made me leave the band?
The
started play dancehall.
You know, by Tuesday night, because after we finished, we have a coverage in the Savannah. Came back to San Fernando, and I hear mixed music from trucks already. Carnival Tuesday night.
Yeah, I want no part of that. Very
loud Spanish music and thing.
I will admit, as a DJ, you have to play to please the crowd at the events that you go to.
Yeah.
And as a man, I play in everything.
He's a man playing everything.
I play in everything. But you see, from Boxing Day till Ash Wednesday or thereabout,
yeah,
don't ask me to play nothing else. Unless it's like a wedding or something like that, and is a vibe we're trying to create.
I am looking for another positive point. There we go, and I remember the name. Yeah, something else I wanted to highlight. And again, it's after Carnival, and there are some relationships that might require
Yes, I remember.
a little attention. But love conquers all, because love doesn't stop what I do. Right? This is on March the 7th, 2026. Upstairs, the Success City rooftop in Pitty Valley, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's $400 per couple. Now, this is strictly for married couples. There's not dealing, right? There's not boyfriend, girlfriend, right? This is strictly for married couples. So come and relax.
Just now. This is not common law partnerships.
Word I would.
Right? Because some people think that is married.
Yeah. This event is designed exclusively for married couples. Come enjoy a refreshing night under the stars together. Right? There are shuttle services available from South Park. And there are lots of giveaways and that kind of thing too. So it's on March the 7th, $400 per couple. Come relax and enjoy the beautiful rooftop ambience, conversation, connection, crafted mocktails, light refreshments, fun and live entertainment. Right? For more information and tickets, you could contact 795-5225. That is 5225.
Slow down on the second part of the number, please. 795
225.
795
5225. Yeah, you see? Always learning. Always learning.
No, and the reason why I realize something that takes place with us as Trinis, we have a very sing-song way of cadence of speaking.
You don't sing song? See what I did there? See what I did there? Yes, guys, I'm a talented actor. I am. Yeah.
We have a sing-song cadence of speaking, so sometimes we get so rhythmic with it that persons don't understand what we are saying.
Alright, so got you. But
especially when it comes to numbers and phone numbers.
yeah, actually. And then we just end up remembering the wrong thing because we remember the wrong song, mnemonics. But yeah, the registration is closing off this week. Very few tickets, only 28. I guess so.
And as we mentioned, the 28th, if you are in Trinidad and Tobago and are able to, there is Carifta Games Trials, the Youth Games Trials, taking place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium on February the 28th and March the 1st.
I now remember what this girl thing is this weekend too, you know.
Who's that, Simidi Trini?
Simidi Trini. I had an up and a down, yes.
Thanks to remind me, I need to message Junior and see if we could get him as a guest for it.
To Junior? Yeah, I would love to have Junior as a guest. This man is terrible. He's amazing. It's funny. He is funny. I like it. Even though he made fun of me at one of Simidi Trini's events. That's why I just sit in the front row in a white cap. He probably don't even remember. I don't know if he does this.
He does lots of the show. The amount of people he interacts with.
Yeah.
However, I will say, he's a man, if he knows you, he doesn't pass your street.
Yeah. I saw him several times in stick fighting and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I stayed very far from him because he was passing with the bag for the guy.
Oh, that's why I stay far?
I stay real far.
Okay. Nah, but really and truly, that made Moruga stick fighting was a vibe though.
It was a lot of things there. Congratulations to Keegan Tandaji Taylor. I mean, like literally my dude, my mentor, my friend, my brethren. Like I talk in plain. I recorded this on a camera that he put in my hands. He came third in the finals.
Nah, that finals. One thing I will say, we all go stick fighting.
I really come no third, you know, but I ain't gonna get into that. All I'm doing is
again.
I know
and that's the last thing
I know what I saw.
But what I'm saying is, maybe got struck.
That's the bread van, though.
Oh,
I haven't bought a pastry. I haven't bought a pastry in months.
That's the fight?
I guess. I wouldn't know. I haven't bought it. Okay. I haven't subbed the bread van. And I told me in months. In team of physical. You notice?
No, I don't know.
Alright. I'll take a jersey for no reason. No. Like, see, I'm being pacing.
No.
Sure.
No.
It's going on here.
No. Anyway, going
you were saying something.
They're going to close classes and things, so I can understand.
What?
What?
You were saying something.
Right. People that say this go stick fighting and they don't understand what it is. What I think should be done in stick fighting, however, is, I wouldn't say live commentary, but somebody constantly repeating the rules so that us, the onlookers, would understand what is taking place. Because I brought some foreigners with me down to Moruga, and I couldn't even explain to them what was going on.
Let me just touch this one with a stick and move on.
Abois. That almost hits here.
If you take the approach at stick fighting is combat sport, understand what you're saying.
No, I never took it like that. What I'm saying is,
you hear what I say? From that perspective, I could understand. But as a cultural ritual, their job is not to sit down and have.
Right, but I never said commentary. I said, like, there was an MC, as you know. So the MC could just reinforce or reiterate ever so often what the rules are. Just remind persons, because not everybody gonna remember.
Yeah.
Or not everybody is accustomed being there.
Oh yeah. When they go to church, it doesn't sit down and explain to everybody who come through, well, this is where we kneel because, and
the Father Christo does that. Just saying.
Yeah.
So there is the opportunity for education in the midst of the entertainment.
Noted.
Yeah.
You say entertainment. You see what I'm saying? You see what I say? I get from the perspective that you are speaking, what you're saying. But to those who don't see it as entertainment, that's enough for them to organize. Yeah. I'm right there with you with that internal dialogue that going on with you there. You know.
You see all them dolphins, the man, you see? That's why they said you right now. All them dolphins.
All the junior dolphins.
All the junior dolphins, yeah. But really and truly, guys, as we come to the end of our program, because we are perilously close to the hour of 7 p.m., I must remind you by ending by saying, Carnival is Bacchanal, and Bacchanal is Carnival. Every year, we quarrel about the results of Pan, of Calypso, or the Road March, of Pan already. We don't really quarrel about Band of the Year. I never hear anybody quarrel about Band of the Year. But every year we quarrel about the results. And as bad as it may be, this is part of our culture. We have to embrace it. We have to accept it. But however, we need to work on changing it. Because if we continue to work in a competition atmosphere, we are not going to allow the art form that is our culture, being soca, calypso, and pan, to thrive. Because though competition, as they say, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
How much time anger keep sharpening iron, boy? Sometime we had a showcase we sing.
Well, we're perilously.
We could do that next week. We could touch on that next week.
Let me just at least rest it here. Thoughts on Kes not being here because he was performing outside.
Carnival weekend?
Yeah.
My thoughts on that? All well and good.
Got you.
All well and good.
Noted.
Yeah.
As ambassador, sometimes you have to serve outside your country.
Correct is right.
Got you. Question.
You're not father.
Yeah. Question. Thoughts on a conspiracy theory that I rest in here. I ain't saying I created it. I just saying I rest in it here. And I'm making sure that we don't have enough time to get into it. Thoughts on a man signing up for a road march that he had no intention of competing and getting 97 plays that somebody else might have gotten, propelling them into. And this is Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage of the global stage. Thank you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains. So what are we doing? Be good and stay safe. God bless you, Maribel North Secondary School. I love you guys. What it is you poured into my life yesterday. It's fantastic stuff. Let's go sign and team. And to Sarah, Jalen, and Jamelia, it was a pleasure meeting you. All right, a big up rock too. Yeah, my boy. I dig your vibes. God bless you. Aaron?
You're lucky you bring that up with 10 seconds left and on. This is yours truly, Aaron 868. I remind you each and every time that cult is my code. And I also remind you that love is the currency, so spend some today. Let somebody know you love them. I keep upping that. Next week, coming back with that one. Because I have so many things to say.
So mad.
I have so many things to say. Mr. Desmond is up next with the big bag.
Okay, Deso.
Yeah.
Keep it locked.
Friday, more Kaisen.
Yeah, I could really come true.
Come to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, let me. Anyway, we might talk about that first.
You know why that? I'm saving that for Tuesday when it had no music to play. Because I real things.
Take it easy, guys. God bless.